So was it hard slipping back into your role as Sean, getting back to the reunion?
I would say I was rusty for like the first half of the first day.
I thought you were going to say the first half of the movie.
No. Yes, I have bad news. I don't say anything funny until the very end of this movie. It was a rough time for me. No, it was just that it was a little bit surreal. Getting the whole band back together, and by whole band I mean half of our Canadian crew as well. So it was sort of like being at a reunion where you love everybody, but it's a little overwhelming at the same time because there's work to be done, but you kind of want to go around and hug everybody individually, and it's emotional and there's so much history, and then boom, you have to start, and you forget like, oh wow, we talked really fast on this show. And there's a real rhythm to what we did. So it took a few takes to sort of work out the kinks, and not for Dulé, of course. He just hit the ground sprinting like a gazelle. But yeah, I think we all sort of fell back into it pretty quick. Yeah.
Talk to us about doing Battle with Zach or Levi at last.
At last. You know what? I'm personally glad that it worked out this way, because I know Zach can sing beautifully. But I actually think this was a better part for him, and I think he was able to jump into it.
Better than a Broadway musical.
Yeah, he was able to really sink into this, and he looks different, he sounds different, and it was something very different for Zach, and I think that made it a lot more fun for him and more fun for us. He is formidable. He's not like a thin, blow-away Psych season 4, episode 6 villain. He's not a villain of the week. He's got some depth, and he's scary, and you wouldn't want to mess with him in the dark alley. Yeah.
Right, good deal.
Well, and I hear we see Mary Lively again, which is strange because he's dead.
Speaking of blow-away villain.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about that.
We love him so much. We refuse to be derailed by the fact that he's no longer living. I believe he's now appeared on the show more post-death than he has when he was actually alive, and we take great pride in that. But no, there's always room for Jimmy Simpson, regardless of what we're talking about. And I think I hope we found a pretty clever way to give the people what they need.
Yeah.
That's a little more Mary Lively.
How did the story, how quickly did the story come together, you and Steve talking about it? Where was it something you always had an idea for?
I don't think Steve ever stops thinking about ideas for Psych. I have a feeling that this and 2 more movies are already sort of on his laptop that nobody knows about. So when we got together, he had, I would say, 60% of the story pretty clean in his head, pretty clear. And then I just started, throwing little loose bushes at him. But yeah, he had a pretty good idea of what story he wanted to tell with this. I just wrote co-pilot. It was a breeze for me.
So with you and Dulé and your partnership on the show, and it's evolved over the years, but do you think it feels like original flavor Psych, even though it's a new movie with you two and everything?
Absolutely. I would say we were actually hyper aware of making sure that we tapped into that sort of classic Sean and Gus relationship that sort of launched the show, because we've been gone for 4 years and we didn't want to come back and ask people to no, this isn't Twin Peaks, So we actually felt like we had an obligation to deliver mostly what they loved about our show, and that's what we did. And I would say it's more classic Psych than weird nouveau tribute Psych. I know we went through phases on our show, but I would say this taps into early classic Sean and Gus Psych.
Now, that being said, were there any real big surprises in the movie that you were just oh wow, I didn't expect that to happen? Because I co-wrote it, I kind of knew everything that was coming our way. It's tough to surprise the writer. I guess there were moments that played differently than maybe we thought they would on the page. I think Maggie Lawson turns in a very sort of beautifully, emotionally grounded performance in this movie. I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that Tim wasn't with us, and which you will most definitely feel
make Psych without Lassiter, so it's not like it's something that you're not going to miss. You will, and I think she carried a lot of that burden, and as a result, I think there's a depth to her performance that maybe isn't synonymous with your normal sort of light, breezy Psych episodes. That was nice to see, and something that I think we all felt. Corbin, surprisingly enough, can rock a scarf.
We heard something about that. Yeah.
He just looked good. I was like, I honestly don't know if this joke is working because he just looks good. He had a little beard and he looked kind of grizzled and ruggedly handsome, and yeah, he was just a handsome fellow. Yeah.
You had 4 years to think about it. Did you have movies you wanted to reference that you didn't in the original show? Nicknames didn't get to use. You're like,
we did our normal think tank for the nicknames and for the don't be's. But I think we showed a surprising amount of restraint with the movie references and stuff this time. I was like, I think we were like, let's challenge ourselves to get back to like just a solid narrative with John and Gus hijinks along the way, and not lean too much into somebody else's stuff. You do that when you make 100 and some odd episodes or something, but when you only have to make one, let's see how much of it we can come up with on our own.
very cool.
Can you share a reference that got cut that you liked a lot?
There was a pretty fantastic alien gag, the original Alien, that would have given you Alien and unfortunately also Kurt Smith. And unfortunately, you get neither of those things. You stole fizzy lifting drinks, and so you get nothing.
Well, we still get the movie. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.